If you liked either the Percy Jackson book or movies, you're going to love Rick Riordan's new series, The Heroes of Olympus. And if you have no clue who Percy Jackson is, you're still going to be able to get into The Lost Hero. Imagine waking up on a school bus and having no idea who you are, where you are, anything. This is what happened to Jason, the star of The Lost Hero. He wakes up next to Piper, who claims to be his girlfriend, and Leo, who is supposedly his best friend. But he doesn't remember either of them. Soon Jason and his friends find themselves at Camp Half-Blood, a camp for the kids of the Greek gods. But Jason doesn't really feel as if he belongs. So when the oracle tells him a prophecy about his future, he decides to go on a quest with Leo and Piper, who he's growing to really like, and find his past and save the world. The Lost Hero is told from 3 different perspectives: Jason, Piper's, and Leo's. The section that I'm going to read is from Leo's perspective. They have just crash-landed their mechanical dragon in an Arctic wasteland, and they've taken refuge in an abandoned warehouse. Leo gets separated from his friends, and he comes running when he hears Piper calling for help.
Leo peeked around the machinery. Hanging directly above the assembly line, suspended by a chain from a crane on the opposite side, was a massive truck engine, just dangling 30 feet up, as if it had been left there when the factory was abandoned. Below it on the conveyor belt sat a truck bed, and clustered around it were 3 dark shapes the size of forklifts. Nearby, dangling from chains on 2 other robotic arms, were 2 similar shapes, maybe more engines, but one of them was twisting around as if it were alive. Then one of the forklift shapes rose, and Leo realized that it was a humanoid of massive size. "Told you it was nothing," the thing rumbled. Its voice was too deep and feral to be human. One of the other forklift-sized lumps shifted and called out in Piper's voice, "Leo, help me, help!" Then its voice changed, becoming a masculine snarl. "Pah, there's nobody out there. No demigod could be that quiet, eh?" The first monster chuckled. "Probably ran away if he knows what's good for him. Or the girl was lying about the 3rd demigod. Let's get cooking." Snap! A bright orange light sizzled to life, an emergency flare, and Leo was temporarily blinded. He ducked behind the crane until the spots cleared from his eyes. Then he took another peep and saw a nightmare scene that no one could have dreamed up. The 2 smaller things dangling from the crane arms weren't engines. They were Jason and Piper, both hung upside down, tied by their ankles, and cocooned with chains up to their necks. Piper was flailing around, trying to free herself. Her mouth was gagged, but at least she was alive. Jason didn't look so good. He hung limply, his eyes rolled up in his head. A red welt the size of an apple had swollen over his left eyebrow. On the conveyor belt, the bed of the unfinished pickup truck was being used as a fire pit. The emergency flare had ignited a mixture of tires and woods, which, from the smell of it, had been doused in kerosene. A big metal pole was suspended over the flames. A spit, Leo realized, which meant that this was a cooking fire.
Oh, will Leo save his friends? Will Jason find his past and save the world? Well, you're just going to have to read The Lost Hero to find out.